Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra. Laurie is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. I'd like to talk about finding strength in a storm and the fact that not all who wander are lost or directionless. I'm hearing a lot of people feeling that they are lost or that they have lost direction or that their compass is spinning. They're grasping for what's coming, what do we do, where do we go next? And I'm wondering if you are also feeling that you are in that space of being lost, directionless, stuck. If you're feeling you're in the middle of the world's biggest storm, not able to see the way forward or even to see where you came from. Many people are asking, how did we get here? You're feeling out of balance, off, even low energy. I don't feel a drive. I don't feel like doing anything. Well, anytime we go through a cycle of healing, a cycle of releasing or closure, we begin a new cycle. We actually begin a new cycle before we are completely done closing the old cycle. A cycle of brand new. This is often new things that we've not yet experienced, and we're not familiar with what that feels like. And before that cycle begins, there can be a slowdown from what we're closing out, but there also can be a slight gap, or we interpret it as a gap because we don't know that feeling. And some would call this the void. And we are uncomfortable because this also can bring a place of unknown or that feeling of a directionless. I've not felt this before. What is this? Where am I? Feeling directionless. And I hear those words a lot. I feel lost. I feel stuck. I don't know what to do next. What's going to happen? There's this vibration of unsureness. Yet, if we pause for just a bit and remember that the universe always knows, the universe is always moving forward. It's us that maybe is going so fast or we don't feel that direction. That statement of I feel directionless is often followed by the question, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm curious if you felt this or found yourself uttering those words of feeling or being lost. Many might be feeling lost now. And a reminder, it's a 9 years, the year of the snake. We're bringing closure to a lot of things in our life or those things around us. We're shedding just as the snake sheds. We're closing and finishing. We're at the end of a cycle, yet not yet beginning a new one that we're sure of. And season-wise, we're in spring. The season of winter is behind us, yet the energy of spring has not quite yet begun. Do you feel as if you don't have a path? Or you are desiring clarity to what your path should be, could be, what you want it to be? We really need to process all of those. Should be, that's the thought or the plan of what we thought it was going to be. The could be is the sense of dreaming, but some feel out of bounds for what really is available or what we want it to be. And sometimes based on our past experiences, we don't allow ourselves for a dream of what it could be or what we want it to be. We have an expectation that takes us back to what we think it should be. In all cases, the universe is waiting for us to send a vibrational message of where, of what, of when, of how, if we're ready. So is it possible to actually be directionless? In a world where everything is always moving and nothing ever rests, is it possible to be directionless? Or is it just that feeling of something we think we should be doing? Or are we feeling we should be anywhere except exactly where we are? The line, not all who wander are lost. That's been used on a slogan, on t-shirts, on hats, and other marketing materials. Its origins are from Tolkien. The words, not all who wander are lost, is from Tolkien's book, The Fellowship of the Ring. If you're not familiar with the series, The Lord of the Rings, this is its first part. In this first novel, the line refers to a character called Aragorn. Although he is the heir of a king, he grows up without knowledge of his true heritage. And later, when Aragorn finally learns about his royal parentage, he decides to leave the peaceful town in which he lives. And then he spends a long time wandering around the wild. And by traveling, Aragorn hopes that he would gain the knowledge and the experience that he believes he needs to be the perfect king, to be a good king. Fortunately, his plan works, and his kingdom turns into a prosperous land during his reign. I can't help but relate this line or these words to all of us. Though we are not kings and queens, we're not born into royal lines. We come here to earth, born into soul families, earth families. We come with mission and purpose and contracts. But we spend our life searching for meaning to discover our core essence and seemingly perceived hidden treasure map of what we're supposed to do while we're here. Many people ask me, what's my purpose? I feel like I should be doing more than what I'm doing. What am I supposed to be doing? Well, there is no secret treasure map. There is no hidden treasure at the end of our life that we know when we're done and there is no more. We are here to wander and to wonder. We're here to explore and discover. And in that, there will be times we do feel lost. We will find a path, walk that path to completion, and then begin another path or walk the same path again and again. I think we often feel lost because we don't trust ourselves to figure out our life or to just be curious, or we don't think we have all the tools we need. We feel ill-equipped. We feel lost if we think we should be doing or feeling something else than what we are actually feeling. We compare ourselves to others' journeys. We listen to society of what we should be doing. We collapse into self-judgment that we don't know what we're doing. But we know we are never not in the exact place we are to be. We feel lost if we don't believe or don't understand there is a master plan or a universe that supports us. If we don't understand we're here on a series of missions, completing contracts and agreements. But we are never truly lost if we just pause to assess where we are and notice where we've been. That pressure that we feel, that jitteriness that we feel, that's the universe's energy urging us to move forward because we know everything moves. And if we pause to listen to the universe with our hearts and decide to pause and rest, or if we decide to move on to another path, we can quickly become aligned. This will often provide insight or direction to where you're going. Just taking the smallest step doesn't have to be a big step. It can be a repeat step or a tiny step forward. As part of our awakening process and our ability as humans, we can learn from our experiences. We have the ability to process, to look at where we've been and why we've experienced those things, and then decide, do we want to experience them again? We have the ability to process what we experienced and ask questions about our emotions, our beliefs, our thought processes. We can choose to have those repeat experiences and the experiences, move on or go back. We have choice. We have choice to learn, to understand. And just because we've done something once doesn't mean we will do it again and again and again. When I was in high school, I attempted to turn my dad's truck around in the middle of the road and ended up backing down into the ditch, and I wasn't able to get out of it. I was petrified that I would be in trouble for the next year. But his words to me at that time were, well, you did it once, just never do it again. And life is like that. But sometimes I think we have this expectation we should just know it all and never have any experiences that we can learn from. Ponder that for a moment, and you'll find you are given yourself grace, that you really didn't do anything stupid or crazy, but you learned from it. And better yet, if you can find a small nugget of humor in how the universe steps in to make those memorable moments, that helps us learn even deeper. When my kids were young, I picked up some geodes on my travels. Those are the round rocks that when you cut them open, inside there's crystals. Well, it was cold outside, and so in all our excitement, I brought a hammer into the house and used the dining room table. It wouldn't have been so bad, but that table had a tile top, and one blow of the hammer to the first geode, and I heard a crack in the tile. I stood there in disbelief that I had just done that. I knew better. I did know that a rock hammered on a ceramic tile would probably break, but I just didn't stop to think. Life was moving so fast at that moment, and so was I. I didn't pause long enough to just think. Now that table is long gone, but my kids still have that memory of breaking rocks. No, wait, breaking tables. In most cases, we just need a good pause to assess where we are and then decide if, when, and what step we might take. Stuck, lost, looking for clarity of what to do, where to go, all need this pause time and accessing, where am I? Are you really stuck? Are you really lost? Why must you have the perfect sense of clarity right now? What happens if you wait a little bit and you don't know what the direction is? Life is stressful enough, but we came here to experience it, not knowing every single step where we're going to take is part of life. That would take the surprise, the mystery, and sometimes the learning opportunities away. Today, I invite you to pause, to notice where you are. Notice where you often sit and what direction do you face. Do you have a favorite chair that you curl up into? Does your desk that you spend a majority of your day face a certain direction? What doorway do you always walk into, and what direction does it face? When you go to the store, do you always take a particular entrance or park in a particular area of the parking lot? And what direction does that face? When you sleep at night, what direction do your feet face? When you begin your day and you wash your face or you brush your teeth and you look at yourself in the mirror, what direction do you face? And by the way, the mirror will also show you what is behind and sometimes where you've been. In the medicine wheel, the east is about new beginnings. It's where the winds scatter seeds of possibility to what can be grown. And we are in the season of east, spring, and planting right now. As I'm recording this podcast, I am facing the east. My desk faces the east. I understand each day when I sit at my desk, I'm beginning anew. And south is nurturing, observing, seeing what is growing well and what is not. Maybe pulling some weeds, fertilizing others, replanting those seeds, discovering what is growing and what is not. And west is healing, course correcting what might have been off or misaligned. It's redirecting and possibly more receding. It's healing. It's nurturing and feeding and healing. But it also can be harvest time. It's also a time of harvest, of celebrating all the hard work and the fruition of your hard work, a celebration of the journey that you've been on. And north is rest. It's gratitude. It's planning what might be next. It's that waiting period before the new cycle begins. It's the ancestors and the elders and the wisdom that we've had at the completion of this cycle. And I notice I have a favorite chair that I sit and read at night, and it faces north. So what Tolkien really meant by saying not all who wander are lost is, if you've had a chance to study Tolkien's work, you'll see that he really doesn't encourage aimless wandering. In fact, his characters are often weary of taking a journey into the unknown. There's another line in the book. It's a dangerous business going out of your door, Bilbo Baggins used to say. I'll say that again. It's a dangerous business going out of your door. You step into the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. Now, Tolkien is known not for taking his characters on pointless travels. Rather, he sends them on quests. So, behind every journey in his books, there's always a purpose or a goal. That's also the case when it comes to the line, not all who wander are lost. Aragorn wanders around his kingdom not because he's lost, but because he wants to learn to be a successful monarch. That is his goal. And if we think to how the universe sets goals for us, the universe does not put us on pointless travels. The universe doesn't just kick us out there and say, go wander. We have maps and missions and goals. Now, maybe a deeper meaning behind this fabulous line of all that wander are not lost has something to push us to aim for something to aim for rather than feeling lost. Because without aim or without goals and achieving steps or mini goals along the way, we do feel lost. Even our roads have mile markers. Now, dreaming is also crucial to our happiness. Researchers have found that working on our goals make us feel happier and more satisfied with life. And when you think about it, this theory makes sense because humans feel lost and unhappy in 3 different situations. 1, if you have no goals and feel as if you are just floating in life. 2, when you've achieved your goals but yet failed to meet your expectations. An example would be working all your life for a career title or a job, and when you get it, it really wasn't what you wanted it to be at all. And 3, when you have a goal but you don't know how to achieve it. An example would be, I want to run my own business, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that business might be, and I don't know how to market it or make money. Those are the 3 things that researchers have found that makes us feel dissatisfied. Now, feeling lost isn't necessarily a bad thing. It will show you exactly where you've been and where you are, and that pause will further help you make the changes in your life to move forward again. But you have to decide to make that pause. That might be resetting and aiming for a new goal, seeking to help you set different goals, or just pausing for a bit to assess or look in the mirror to where you've been. What direction, what season are you in? Are you planting new seeds? Are you nurturing those? Are you harvesting them? Or are you resting? The universe continues to move, and eventually you too will realize who you want to be and what you want to achieve in life. And until then, embrace the way you feel today. Use your emotions to fuel your journey ahead. Study the pathways of where you are in life and experience and enjoy those learnings along the way. The universe is not just throwing you willy-nilly out into the world to wander without having any sort of ability to assess or to align or to say, I like this and I don't like that. And if you want to stop feeling lost, find a purpose, a joy, a happiness, a small goal. Doesn't have to be huge and grandiose. Doesn't have to take a lot of money. It can be small. If you want to stop feeling directionless, believe that is impossible to be directionless, because wherever you're standing, sitting, or laying, you are facing a direction, and the past is behind you. The smallest movement can set you on another path. We're here on this beautiful planet with purpose, to be here, to wander, to wonder, to be curious, to discover, to explore and experience. And that includes having experiences we like and a lot of experiences we may not like. We are in a time right now that the universe is shaking us up, waking us up to pay attention to what we like, what we don't like, to find a path, take a path, relive or redo a path, to find your season for planting seeds, for nurturing something, for maybe harvesting something that you've been growing for a long time and it's time to move on. Or maybe it's time for a rest. I'll leave you with this though. All those who wander are not lost. They're not. They simply are being, and the universe will direct them. Just pause to see where you're going, where you've been, and relax. I'm Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Laurie Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Laurie also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.